You're on.
Okay, I just happened to think of a few things, few points after our last visit that struck me as very important and as differences between the park and other places that my wife and I had lived.
Mm-hmm.
I would say one of the first noticeable differences was that although we'd had an activity director in each of those other locations, the lady that you have here was just a better activity director, always had us busy, always has us busy, always just doing something, always something to do to keep you busy. Because in a facility like this, a community like this, you have time on your hands.
Mm-hmm.
Our favorite hobbies here are eating and watching television, and she gets us away from the television set. And in addition to that, she keeps us entertained. She books entertainment. They give her a budget here, I'm sure, that permits her to bring in people that are talented entertainment. A couple of gentlemen who are real artists at piano keyboard that play, and people turn out to listen to them. We've got other people that come by with guitars, and maybe there's a 2-3 people group of instrumentalists and singers. Even during the COVID almost lockdown that we had, they were permitted to come by and see us, but not come indoors.
Mm-hmm.
We would go out under the portico out front, and they would entertain us out front, and we sat under that portico, and they were good enough that in a couple of instances there were people across the road in their backyards that were enjoying our music, and they were bringing their chairs, theirs and their neighbors, into their backyard to listen to our entertainment clear across
the street.
So
that's
I
awesome.
thought that was a little bit of a different situation for a retirement assisted living community.
Yes.
I noticed also that they create and try to maintain on a regular, ongoing basis a relationship with not just the residents here, but also the family
Mm-hmm.
of those residents. And that's so important, because the kids are always interested to know that what's going on with mom and dad, and if mom and dad are really content to be there, and with the upper level administration we have here, they make the family feel that they're part of the process of keeping mom and dad well cared for. In addition to that, one of the things that I noticed real early was that as you just walk through the place, we have common areas
Mm-hmm.
that if a few members of the family want to slip out of mom and dad's apartment and discuss something by themselves, they can do so. There are places for those little meetings to take place.
Yeah.
And I did not mention that on our first visit that we had. And I hope that makes a big difference. It was something that I thought, gee whiz, this is really neat, because that's space. And then when you build a place like this, it's part of the cost of building that space, that place, the facility. But they've done it for the residents to have, whether it's a small group for entertainment or whether it's for a family meeting outside of the apartment, you can have it. It's provided for. And lastly, I would say I was concerned with the obvious difference between the park and other places. When I was asked in sharing the information after my first visit, sharing the information with some acquaintances where we were living before we made a decision, they wanted to know how were the rates. And each place has their own rate schedule, but I would say, and can say so honestly, that their rates are competitive.
And the food.
And the food is really good.
Very good.